Hello, my friend, and a very warm welcome back to Speak Power Daily. I'm Charlotte, and it's so good to have your ears with me today. I want to ask you something. When you hear the phrase, being alone, what feeling does it create in your heart? For many of us, that word, alone, can sound a little bit lonely. It might bring a feeling of emptiness, or like you're missing out on something. But what if I told you that being alone doesn't have to feel that way at all? What if being alone could actually become one of the most peaceful, rich, and happy parts of your life? That's what we're exploring together in this episode: How to be happy alone. This is especially powerful for us as English learners because so much of our practice happens in our own company, listening, reading, repeating words out loud. This isn't about isolating yourself from the world. It's about changing your relationship with solitude. It's about transforming it from something you might fear or avoid into something you genuinely enjoy and look forward to. Think of it like learning to enjoy your own favorite music. At first, silence might feel too quiet. But when you learn to choose the songs you love, you can create a beautiful atmosphere just for you. Being happily alone is like becoming the DJ of your own life. You get to choose the activities, the thoughts, and the rhythm of your day. Maybe right now, time alone feels like waiting. Waiting for a message, waiting for plans, waiting for someone to make you feel complete. But true happiness alone comes when you stop waiting and start creating. When you realize that you are already a whole, interesting person all by yourself. Your own company is not a placeholder, it is the main event. So, let's begin this journey of discovery. Because the first step to being happy alone has nothing to do with your calendar and everything to do with your perspective. It starts with a simple, powerful shift in how you see that quiet space around you. We've talked about shifting your perspective, seeing alone time not as an empty space, but as your own special stage. Now, let's make that stage come alive. The secret to being happy alone lies in one beautiful word: intention. It's the difference between just being alone and living alone wonderfully. Without intention, a free hour can easily disappear into scrolling on your phone, leaving you feeling more disconnected than when you started. But with a little intention, that same hour can become a small gift to yourself. It starts by asking a very simple question. What would feel good to me right now? Not what should I do, but what would I genuinely enjoy? This is you starting a kind, internal conversation with yourself. This is where your English learning can become a source of joy, not just a task. Instead of thinking, I must study grammar for 1 hour, you could think, I'm going to find a recipe for my favorite cake in English and try to bake it this weekend. You are learning vocabulary, following instructions, but you are also creating something delicious and fun. You are not just studying English. You are living with English and enjoying your own company in the process. Happiness alone grows from these small, intentional acts. It could be putting on your favorite music and dancing in your living room for 3 songs. It could be taking your notebook to a park and writing down 10 things you see, in English, of course. It could be simply sitting with a cup of tea and doing absolutely nothing, but doing it on purpose, as a way to rest and recharge. When you do things with intention, you are no longer a passive guest in your own life. You become the active, creative host. You are telling yourself, my time matters. My interests matter. I matter. This builds a deep sense of self-respect. You start to enjoy your own thoughts, your own curiosities. The silence isn't scary anymore. It's comfortable, like your favorite old sweater. And as you get more comfortable in this space, you'll discover something incredible. You begin to hear your own voice more clearly. Not the critical one, but the one that knows what you truly like, what you dream about, what makes you feel at peace. This is the voice that often gets drowned out by the noise of the world. Listening to it is the greatest adventure you can have with yourself. And from this place of listening, you can begin to build something lasting. As this inner conversation grows stronger, you may notice a gentle shift in how you treat yourself. You stop rushing through your moments and start honoring them. Even simple routines, making breakfast, organizing your desk, going for a short walk, become opportunities to practice presence. You might describe what you are doing in English, quietly in your mind or softly out loud, turning ordinary actions into mindful language practice. In these moments, you are not performing for anyone else. You are simply being with yourself, and that is enough. Over time, this intentional way of living builds trust. You learn that you can rely on yourself to create meaning, even in quiet hours. You no longer wait for messages, plans, or external validation to feel complete. Instead, you become your own safe place. When challenges appear, you already have a habit of listening, reflecting, and responding with kindness. This inner stability is powerful, and it grows slowly, one intentional choice at a time. And perhaps the most beautiful part is this. When you truly enjoy your own company, you bring a calmer, more authentic energy into your relationships with others. You are no longer looking for someone to fill a gap, because you have learned how to care for that space yourself. You connect not from need, but from wholeness. This is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are when no one else is watching. And it is here, in this gentle confidence, that lasting happiness begins to take root. So you're starting to listen to that inner voice, the one that knows what you truly enjoy. That's wonderful. Now, let's take that feeling and build a physical space around it. Because being happy alone isn't just a mindset, it's also an environment. It's about creating what I like to call your personal sanctuary. A place, or even just a corner, that feels completely and uniquely yours. Think about it. A sanctuary is a safe, peaceful place. It's where you go to recharge, to feel at home. Your sanctuary could be a cozy chair by a window, your kitchen table early in the morning, or even your daily walk route. The important thing is that in this space, you are free to be exactly as you are. You can make mistakes. You can be quiet. You can be silly. No one is watching. No one is judging. How do we build this sanctuary, especially for our English practice? We curate it. That's a lovely word, which means we choose the things carefully. Start by filling your space with English that you love. Unfollow social media accounts that make you feel stressed or compare yourself to others. Instead, follow pages that post beautiful English poetry, funny cartoons, inspiring quotes, or interesting facts about nature or science. Change the language on your phone to English for a day. When you do this, you're not just studying. You're surrounding yourself with a language that brings you curiosity and joy. Your sanctions is also where you establish little rituals. A ritual is a special way of doing something that has meaning for you. Your English ritual could be listening to the same calming podcast every evening while you cook. It could be writing 3 good things that happened today in a journal in simple English. These rituals are powerful. They tell your brain, this is my time. This is where I connect with myself and my goals. In this sanctuary, you are both the student and the teacher, the speaker and the listener. And here's a beautiful truth. The more you enjoy your own company in this safe space, the less you will fear solitude anywhere else. You will carry that sense of sanctuary inside you. It becomes an inner strength that says, wherever I am, if I have myself, I am at home. And from this place of being at home with yourself, you can start to explore the most exciting part, using your alone time not just for comfort, but for real, joyful growth. Now that you have your sanctuary, a comfortable, joyful space just for you, let's talk about the magic you can create there. This is where your alone time transforms from simple comfort into your very own laboratory for growth. A laboratory is a place for experiments, right? You try things, you see what happens, you learn. There's no fear of failure here because every result is valuable information. When you are happily alone, your life becomes the most supportive lab imaginable. This is the perfect mindset for accelerating your English. In your social lab, you might feel pressure to be perfect. But in your personal lab, you can experiment freely. You can try to imitate the accent from your favorite TV show, even if it sounds silly. You can write a short poem with the new words you learned, even if it doesn't rhyme. You can sing an English song at the top of your lungs. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is exploration. You are discovering the edges of your ability and gently pushing them, all in a safe, private space. Think of a skill you've always wanted to try. Maybe it's writing, drawing, or cooking. Your alone time is the gift that allows you to start. Follow a tutorial in English. As you learn the skill, you're also absorbing instructions, vocabulary, and cultural context in English. You are growing in two ways at once. The happiness comes from the act of creation itself, from the focus of your mind and the work of your hands. You are not doing it for praise from others. You are doing it for the pure satisfaction of learning and making. This focused, playful time does something incredible for your confidence. Every small experiment where you think, "Hey, I did that," adds a brick to your foundation of self-trust. You begin to rely on your own ability to figure things out, to entertain yourself, to solve problems. You realize you are a capable, interesting person all by yourself. And with this growing confidence, you'll notice a beautiful change. You will start to choose solitude sometimes, not because you have to, but because you want to. You'll look forward to those moments to check in with your projects, your thoughts, your progress. This choice is the ultimate sign of being happy alone. It means you are no longer filling time. You are investing it in the most important project you'll ever work on: yourself. From this place of investment and growth, you can begin to see your entire journey in a new, brighter light. And so, we arrive here, at the heart of the matter. Being happy alone isn't about building a wall around yourself. It's about building a center within yourself. A warm, bright center that I like to think of as your inner sun. This sun doesn't need someone else to shine on it. It generates its own light, its own warmth. And when you have that, everything in your life changes. You stop going into relationships or social situations from a place of need, thinking, "Please make me feel happy." Instead, you come from a place of wholeness, thinking, "I have happiness to share." This is a game changer. Your conversations become more genuine because you aren't desperate for approval. Your English speaking practice becomes more confident because you're communicating from a solid place, not from a place of fear. You are sharing your thoughts, not just seeking validation. Look at how far we've come. We reframed alone time from loneliness to opportunity. We filled it with intention and built a personal sanctuary. We turned it into a laboratory for joyful growth. All of this crafts that inner sun. Its light is self-respect. Its warmth is self-compassion. As your inner sun grows brighter, you'll find that solitude and connection become a beautiful balance, not opposites. You will enjoy people more because you are not dependent on them for your basic happiness. You will also enjoy your own company more because you know it's a source of strength and creativity. You become the CEO of your own joy. My final invitation to you is this. Tonight or tomorrow, spend just 15 minutes in a way that feeds your inner sun. Do one thing purely for the joy it gives you. And as you do it, tell yourself in English, "This is my time. I am my own home." Say it out loud. Let your own voice be the kindest voice you hear. Thank you, truly, for exploring this profound topic with me on Speak Power Daily. Remember, learning to be happily alone is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself and to everyone you meet. You become more present, more peaceful, and more powerful. I'm Charlotte, reminding you that your light is yours to kindle. Nurture it, trust it, and let it shine. I'll be right here, cheering you on. Until next time.